What happens when Hollywood's toughest action hero meets daytime television's most confrontational host? This wasn't just an interview, it was a verbal war that left the entire studio in shock and would soon have the entire internet talking. The scene appeared normal enough. The bright lights of the View studio, the cheerful audience, and the familiar panel of hosts. Jason Statham walked onto the set expecting the usual promotional interview for his latest action film. What he got instead would become television history. Joy Behar didn't waste any time. The moment the camera started rolling, she launched her first attack with that familiar smirk. "Jason, let's be honest. Your films are just violence pornography, aren't they? When are you going to make something with actual substance?" The other hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Sarah Haynes, and Sunny Hostin, shifted uncomfortably in their chairs. This was clearly not going to be the friendly chat Jason had anticipated. Jason maintained his cool, responding in his distinctive London accent. "That's a rather narrow view of what I do, Joy. These films employ thousands of people and bring joy to millions worldwide. They explore themes of loyalty, family, and doing what's right." But Joy wasn't backing down. She leaned forward, her voice dripping with condescension. "Oh, please, Jason. Your characters just drive fast cars and punch people. Where's the art in that? Don't you think you have a responsibility to use your platform for something more meaningful?" Whoopi tried to intervene, but Jason raised his hand. "No, it's all right. I want to hear more about Joy's definition of meaningful entertainment." What followed was a rapid escalation that nobody saw coming. Joy accused Jason's films of promoting toxic masculinity and sending terrible messages to young boys. The studio audience fell into stunned silence. Jason's response cut through the tension like a knife. "Toxic masculinity, that's rich coming from someone who's built a career bullying people on television." The confrontation intensified with each exchange. Joy claimed Jason's films were wasting his potential and taking the easy money, while Jason fired back about Joy's amateur-hour psychoanalysis and soapbox agenda. The real explosion came when Jason stood up from his chair, towering over the panel. "Let me tell you something about Mindless, Joy. Mindless is sitting at a desk every day taking cheap shots at people who actually create something." Joy's face flushed crimson. "Sit down, Jason. You're being ridiculous." "Am I? Because from where I'm standing, you invited me here under false pretenses. This isn't an interview, it's an ambush." The other hosts looked desperately toward the producers as the situation spiraled out of control. Sarah Haynes tried to change the subject to Jason's upcoming projects, but the damage was done. Jason turned his attention directly to Joy. "You want to talk about responsibility? Let's talk about your responsibility to treat guests with basic decency. Let's talk about your responsibility to have actual conversations instead of using people as targets for your anger." The climax came when Jason began removing his microphone. "We're finished here, Joy. We were finished the moment you decided to make this about you instead of having a professional discussion." As Jason strode toward the exit, Joy made one final attempt to salvage the situation. "This is exactly the kind of toxic behavior I was talking about, walking away when challenged." Jason paused at the edge of the set, delivering his final words with devastating calmness. "Joy, the only toxic thing here today was your attitude. I hope one day you learn the difference between being tough and being mean." The studio fell into complete silence as Jason Statham disappeared backstage, leaving behind stunned hosts, a shocked audience, and a conversation that would dominate social media for weeks. So where do you stand in this epic confrontation? Was Jason right to defend his work and walk away from what he saw as a personal attack? Or was Joy simply doing her job by asking tough questions about the messages in action films? The debate is raging everywhere, from coffee shops to comment sections. Share your verdict below. Team Jason or Team Joy? Your opinion could be featured in our follow-up coverage of television's most unforgettable walk-off.